Part 6, Keys to Creating Positive Impact. Your message needs to be easy to understand, memorable, clear, and engaging. Let's start with easy to understand. As intelligent as your audience may be, no one wants to have to work really hard to have to understand you. Let's face it, they've got enough on their plate without having to work really hard to figure out what you're talking about. Plus, adults struggle to admit when they don't understand, so are more likely to disengage or become hostile if they lose track of what you're talking about and feel like they've kind of got the wrong end of the stick or got behind. So it's worth putting the effort into breaking down some of the bigger concepts to really bite-sized, easy chunks, step-by-step processes, and making it really easy to digest. The easiest way to learn is to use something the audience already understands and say, hey, this is a little bit like that. So diagrams, analogies, they can be really, really helpful because they're showing you what you might already have seen somewhere else and how what you're saying is similar to that. So examples are amazingly helpful because if you can give somebody 3 examples of any concept or principle, you pretty much don't need to explain the principle because the pattern can be extrapolated from those 3 examples. And I always think we never think about giving examples when we're explaining something because we think, oh, it's obvious, they don't need another example. Gosh, that's loads, it'll take too long. Yeah, if there's an important point that you want to make, if there is a concept that you want to convey, nobody will mind 3 examples. Keep them succinct, keep them brief, but give 3 interesting examples, at least 3, if it's a really important concept. Remember to break it down. You've learnt a difficult concept. You've taken your time to learn it. If this is the first time somebody's seeing that concept, they may need the building blocks that you learnt when you first encountered these principles. So really break it down and think, what's the very first thing they would need to understand before they can understand that next step, and create stepping stones for them so that it's really easy to follow your logic and understand what it is that you're talking about. And just don't assume it's easy. You won't be patronizing your audience by making it simple to understand. Patronizing is in the tone. Patronizing would be, if you're treating them like they're stupid, which your audience most definitely is not. What your audience is overwhelmed with other things they've got to learn, other things they've got to do, and they don't really want to be uncomfortable trying really hard to work out what you're saying. So it's more of a kindness to kind of lay it out in front of everybody. Now, there is a caveat to that. Obviously, that if you're trying to explain something to people who already know, then they might feel that it's oversimplified, which then goes back to where, when you're thinking about who you're speaking to and planning what you're going to say and what you're going to communicate, making sure you find out what they already know and what they don't already know. The other thing you can do is you can always ask a person, an audience, you can always ask them, have you already come across this concept? Okay, for those of you in the audience who have not come across this concept, let me break it down for you. And that way you get round not offending those people that already know the concept, because you've already said this is for the people that haven't seen it yet. So that would be my advice for just making it easy and really help your audience to follow along with you.